We welcome you courtside now as Carson-Newman takes down Queens 81-57, joined by Carson-Newman coach Mike Mincey. Coach, interesting game in the sense that Kayla Marisites goes 1 of 7 from the field, 6 points for her. Harris Price goes 3 of 11, 7 points for her. But Bree Smith, 21 points. Addison Burr, the 14-point third quarter, and Tori Griffin stepped up. What do you think of how some of your supporting players were able to step up in this game?
You know, it's obviously we'd like for our leading scorers to be playing well, especially with, only when we started the game, 2 games left in the regular season. But, for Harris in particular, it's senior day, and I thought Queens did a good job of putting a speedy defender on her and trying to cut the head off the snake. But, and in some regards, you can say they kind of did, and they kind of limited Tank, even though Kayla had some opportunities to score. I think Harris did too, but it just goes to show that we've got more pieces from an offensive standpoint than those two, that we can still put 81 on the board. Wasn't our best effort offensively today, but, Bree stepped up. Bird had a big third quarter. Tori's continuing to stay hot. So, we're going to need those guys to play well as we move into the tournament. And, you're not going to hold Kayla and Harris down very long. They'll be back next game. They'll be fine.
You held Queens to 36 rebounds. You're plus 10 on the glass. You get 13 points off of turnovers in the ball game. What do you think about how your team defended? 2 players in Goff and Eanes combined for 15 of 26. The rest of the team just 10 of 36 from the floor. What do you think of how they were able to handle this game?
Well, early on, we tried to press. Didn't do all that great, primarily because we weren't rebounding the first shot misses a lot. We were playing off of their players quite a bit because they, shooting from a lot of their players, they want to penetrate and drive, and so that was my fault. We were playing off of them a little bit. They were taking 1 or 2 dribbles before they ever get picked up. They were getting ahead of steam. Third quarter, changed it up, put more pressure up on them, even out on the perimeter, so that there was pressure on the ball immediately. Then the second defender, third defender, because we actually ended up picking up, a couple of charges there. And, so I think that adjustment really helped us a lot defensively. And, of course, getting out of the press, making them play in the half court a little bit more was obviously key to the second half defense.
Your senior class is fortunate. They get another game in this facility in the SAC tournament in the quarterfinals. But on senior day, to see Smith do what she did, Ashton Weichel get a 3, to get some of the curtain call with a good crowd here today, what it mean to you as a coach to see one of the better senior classes that this school has ever had get sent off in this fashion?
I don't really like senior days. Obviously, most coaches don't, especially when you have a class that's as successful as this one. You don't even really want to think about it. I don't want to think about those players not being available for me to put on the floor and play. And so I was hoping that we would have a lead like we had, to where we could give them all a proper curtain call individually. I think it was well-deserved. And, I was glad Weichel could step up there and hit a 3. They all 3 scored. Of course, 2 of them are primary starters, so they just mean the world. They've changed our program. They've changed the culture of the program, and they've got us now to where, I think we're a bona fide regional contender every single year, and hopefully we can keep it that way, once they're gone, but because of what they've developed here. A lot of players want to come and play for this team and in this environment.
Coach, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you in a week at Newberry.
All right, thank you, Michael.
It's Carson-Newman coach Mike Mincey.